Well, hi, I'm Terry Murphy from Realty Times, Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and my favorite, In the Men's Room. And today I have a terrific guest, Michael Krisa, that interview guy, Real Estate Unplugged, video wizard, man of all things video, has joined us today way out there in Canada, where there's still snow, isn't there?
Not that bad. But I'm wearing my Jacques Cousteau hat out of tribute anyway. It's cold enough to wear a hat.
Well, Michael, you have been, so you and I met several years ago, I believe at NAR, and we talk about the power of video. And this goes way back to the little flip cameras and everything.
I think, in fact, we actually did meet in a men's room back at NAR, but that's an episode in itself.
Oh, stop. Did I mention that he's a bit irreverent? Yes, he is. And that's what I love about him. Yeah, there he looks around. So we were doing the little flip cameras. You worked with us on the Kodak program. Oh my God, you have it. Oh my God, that's so amazing. And you know, it was kind of a novel then, and now look at what's just happened. For the first time in our lives, in the world that we know, the entire world is in timeout. Yeah. And it has forced people to really hunker down, I'll use a Midwestern term, on how they do business, how they connect, and what creatively can we do to connect even though we are socially distanced? And one of the things I was going to ask you is, in light of what's happening in real estate today, what is it about video specifically that you think has such a major solution for agents?
Well, I think at its core, video, and when I talk about video, Terry, you know, for Michael, it's all guerrilla style. It's using your phone, not running out and buying fancy cameras, because as I tell realtors, the barrier between you and success is the cellophane around the last product that you bought. So it's not about buying, you know, fancy this or fancy, everybody has good intentions. And especially now when they're going nuts, driving their spouses crazy in the house, it's one more toy that they're going to buy and not use. It's all about using your cell phone. And that's where I start off here. And at its core, what video does, it's called parasocial behavior. And when I see you on camera or somebody's watching your videos or my videos, they're going to, in a snapshot, make a decision that you're somebody that they like. And it's a trifecta: know, like, and trust. Or there's something about you that they don't like. Nobody cannot like Terry Murphy. So let's not even go there. So they're watching my videos and they're going to make this judgment. There's something about Michael that I really like. And this is happening in the other than conscious brain. Some people call it the non-conscious or whatever, but other than conscious brain. And when that brain makes a decision that there's something about this guy or something about this girl that I like, then the brain will go out of its way to cherry pick the data to support that. So it could be, I'm watching Terry Murphy. What a beautiful blue blouse she has. Blue is my favorite color. And as I said, all this is happening in the background. And so what it does, and you've probably experienced this yourself, Terry, you're watching a movie, let's say, and before you know it, you forget where you are and you're being swept away by the character and you're a part of the plot of what's going on. And if you were to meet that movie star, and this is what they experience all the time, people come running up to the street and they want their autograph and they feel like there's a personal connection. And that's what video does. It amplifies the sense of community that you were referencing, this sense of needing to be close to somebody. It amplifies that because our brain now is filling in all the missing bits of information. And again, in our mind, parasocial behavior, this person has now become somebody that we know, like, and trust. Exactly. And so right now in this time where everybody is, you know, jumping up and down, they're living in fear, the media is bombarding them with, you know, mistruths, half-truths, fill in the blanks. We have to pull back on the reins. I don't know if that's a Midwestern term or a bondage thing, but pull back on the reins and say enough. And especially for realtors, what your customers are looking for, if I really were to dumb this down, Terry, they're like little children lost in the wilderness right now. Our job is to find them and deliver them to the promised land. And the way to do that is give them helpful information, give them words of encouragement, motivating thought, you know, pictures that they can focus on. That's what we need now.
And I think when you talk about a resource of data and information, it has to be really relevant. If nothing else, I mean, yes, it's important what's happening over the country, but what's happening my hyper-local neighborhood, what's happening in my hood that makes it interesting and applicable to my life. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we need, so where video comes into this, and I'm not going to toot my own horn with a product, you can do that for me. But part of what ours does is I can do the video. So here's a personal video of me talking to my customers, my sphere of influence. But then instead of talking about real estate, because that's what we're talking about here, real estate, I can now bring in YouTube videos of, here are 10 different things that your kids can be doing while you're locked up in home. Here are 15 things that you as an adult can be doing instead of knocking back liquor at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So here's what's happening in your community. Like I know, for example, that where we live, there's a yoga center that is doing virtual yoga lessons for free. There's a fitness instructor that you can tap into his YouTube channel. He's doing personal training right now in a group kind of experience on YouTube for free because they know people are going crazy. So they're leading with the giving hand, and all this will come back in spades, if you will, because reciprocity. You've done something kind for me. I'm going to return that favor. So once we get out of this fog or whatever you want to call it, there's going to be a lot of benefits to be had here for people that have taken the time, cut through all the fear, all the clutter to deliver a message of hope, if you will, distraction.
And I totally agree with you, because in this unprecedented time of stopping the clock, stopping the whirlwind, this is the time for real intentional, I love the word intentional, connection and focus. And it's not about trying to sell somebody or asking if they're ready to buy or sell. More importantly, it's about how are you? And we have all of these resources, and you just mentioned it and I believe the platform that you use to connect with phone video is QuickPage. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah, and that's quickpage.io, and it's as opposed to .com. So it's .io, and I've actually used it, and I'll tell you what I found about it. And again, not a commercial, but when I sent the email to 25 people that I'm doing some leadership training for, no one really responded to the email, but everyone opened the video, and I could tell. And I could see that they downloaded some of the support material that was with it. So here's what we're looking for. People are looking to find connection. This is why people are violating like the sequester. They're hungry, interestingly enough, to use a phone to connect, when before everybody was on their, texting when they were sitting in front of people. Now they're like, I want to talk to real people. So
I need to see a face. Give me a face.
Well, you got that. You talked about the experiential experience of seeing and talking and hearing someone as opposed to reading text. And so it tells me this is a new way to impact how we communicate with our clients. Give me a couple of examples that would work within the industry for our agents to connect with prospects, customers, clients, strategic partners. What would you recommend?
Sure. So a big one right now, realtors by their very nature, everything that they own has their picture on it. I've got calendars, I've got business cards, I've got, the urinal pucks that you see in hockey arenas. Like if they can put their face somewhere, they're going to put it there. But what happens is with all that branding, especially from, let's not call them competitors anymore, because we're not competing. I would say agents from a different office now are now my colleagues, and we're supporting one another. So if I've got listings that I want to sell, the last thing I want to do is focus on my brand, because I want your help to get these listings sold. And we can't go in physically anymore. Everything's being done virtually. So what I'm sharing with agents now to do is within QuickPage, the basic platform is I can shoot a video. I can pull in PDFs, so it could be feature sheets, it could be surveys, anything that I can incorporate with that property that will make the decision to buy easier for a buyer, I want in that what I call QuickPage. And if it's all non-branded, here's where it gets really interesting. Me as the realtor, I'm going to take my phone and I'm going to do a walkthrough of that property. But I'm not going to have my realtor cap on or my Jacques Cousteau hat on. I'm going to have my buyer's hat on. And I'm going to pretend that I'm going through this and doing a commentary like I would if I was actually interested in buying the home. It's nothing about Michael from ABC Realty. It's Michael with cash in his pocket looking to buy a home. And I'll come into the kitchen and I'll go, wow, Terry, what an awesome kitchen. Can you imagine the parties that we could have here? And you walk into the living room, there's a fireplace. Oh, look at that stone fireplace. We could get rid of the kids. Like Hansel and Gretel would love it here. But my point is, if I do it this way, and I've created this elegant package, non-branded, I can now share it with my colleagues from different companies, and they'll have no intimidation whatsoever to then take that package of information, because I've made it really simple for them, and now share it with their prospective buyers. Because the intimidation factor is, if my branding is all over everything, that agent's always worried about, well, what if they call Michael? Or what if they go to his website? None of that's there. As far as the buyer's concerned, all this came from that agent that they're working with. That's one strategy right now that's working brilliantly.
And you mentioned even if you can't get in the house, let the seller be part of the equation.
Oh, absolutely. So the seller can shoot the video. They can upload it via Dropbox. The agent downloads it, puts it into their QuickPage account. Or if they trust that seller and they, again, haven't been drinking too early in the afternoon, they can share the email and password. And that seller can then upload that video directly into what's called the QuickPage that's made specifically for that seller.
So there you go. I mean, this is a time of unprecedented creativity, how we can actually connect and convert by helping people do what they're going to need. Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a pent up demand. And the people that step up and get out of their comfort zone so that they're using a tool that maybe they're not that familiar with. And by the way, the thing I like the best is the delete button, because if you don't like it, you can delete in a New York second without being a PhD in technology. So practice is key. And what would you say about people that say, well, I don't like the way I look or sound on video?
Good, get over it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Very
did you want,
very short motivational
adjectives in that? Yeah. Well, Terry, I've been teaching video for the past 10 years. And one of the common things is I'm too fat, too hairy, too wide, anything with a two out front of it. But here's, I'm going to share with you this little secret. Guess what, kids? All that stuff that you've been sending out, your marketing collateral, the propaganda that you're putting out on a regular basis. Well, one day we're hoping that a buyer is going to pick up the phone, call us. And then when you show up, they're going to look at all this stuff. They'll look at you, look at the car, look at you. They're calling 911 in their brain to report a missing realtor. Because they're looking for continuity between your marketing and you. So if you can just be totally you, like I like to say, be yourself, everyone else is taken, just get on there. And if you're packing an extra few pounds or you don't have as much hair as I do, that's where my Jacques Cousteau hat, you know what? Own it, get over it, move on. I'm going to repeat that. Own it, get over it, move on. Stop your bitching and complaining about the shape that you're in. Do something about it. If not, own it, get over it, move on. Because what you see or what they see is what they get. So you might as well be the best you can be. You. Isn't that a string toy?
Actually, I
know
yo-yo.
Okay.
But you do have it. So that's I want everybody to know that. And women are particularly tough on themselves about how they look and this and that. But at the end of the day, you're the best version of you. So make it the best version of you and just be the best you. And video is a great way to connect because it's experiential, it shares energy, it shows action, it's engaging, we're used to it. And again, just keep practicing. Now, I know there's other strategies that you recommend, maybe past clients. I know that we're reaching out to a lot of people with video that we can't normally see. So if you're doing a MVP, most valuable prospect kind of thing, you can use video to say, 5 properties came on in the price pocket you're looking for. And here's some information about the ones that I think suit what you and I've discussed. Let me know if I'm on target. Now that lets a buyer know that you're still working for them, even though you are sequestered. And because you have access to this information, and we are paid to be guides because everybody has all the information now. What's important for us is to be that guide. Tell us how a listing agent can use it for a listing presentation.
A number of ways. Well, number one, same basic idea. I can have my phone before I meet with the buyer. I can be taking pictures outside, do video walkthroughs, and I can put this all together as a neat little package that I can share virtually. So I don't have to physically be there. Now, forget about QuickPage for a second. People are turning to platforms like Zoom, Be Live. These are meeting platforms, collaboratory platforms. That's what they were originally designed to do. So Zoom was a replacement of having to drive, 3 states or however far to meet in one room when they're doing it virtually. So what realtors are doing the same thing with Zoom. They have their buyers or their sellers on one side of the camera, they're on the other, and the medium is the computer screen that they're looking on. So instead of sitting across from each other at the kitchen table, we're doing it through a virtual kitchen table, which happens to be our desktop screen.
And that's just such a great opportunity to, again, bridge the gap until we can, all be back together again. So people are presenting offers using Zoom. Talk about that.
Well, the same kind of idea. Anything that I can project on my screen, I can now be sharing with people that I've invited. And here's the thing. Let's go back. I've been using Zoom for a couple of years, and I would just share the link. Okay, attend my Zoom meeting. Here's the time we're going to get together, Terry and I, like we're doing right now. We're doing this, live recording via Zoom. What's happened though, there's hooligans out there right now, and there's always going to be those type of people that somehow they find that link and they're doing Zoom bombing, where they crash a meeting and they do all kinds of shenanigans. And then most people are still new to Zoom. They're trying to figure out how to get rid of these people, and which has now just completely ruined the experience. So a bit of a tech tip here within Zoom, make sure now that you've set your Zoom account that they need a password to get in. So you send out an invitation, there'll be a corresponding password that goes with that.
So that's just a really good tip. Well,
Yeah.
I know that people are looking for connection. So if you think about your phone, which is the easiest because everybody pretty much has one, and you think about how to connect with relevant, hyperlocal, authentic information, right? That really makes you the celebrity authority. You really helped us brand that years ago. How do you become the celebrity authority of your hyperlocal area, which is what people are looking for, right? If I'm looking for a house here, I'm not looking in Hanover, Canada.
Yeah.
So at the moment, that really makes you that go-to person, and it makes you so relatable. Don't you agree?
Yeah, one of the things I would suggest, Terry, especially now, more and more people are doing video either on their phone. Let me grab my laptop, because this is the classic mistake 101. When you fire up your laptop and you're doing a video like a Zoom, or even if you're recording a video, you're traditionally, the camera will be at the top here of the lid, the top of the lid. So notice when I'm looking at the camera, it's now looking straight at my honker here. So if I've got any nasal propaganda hanging out, if I've got cauliflower steak, like, it could be a farmer's field out of my ears. And for guys, we get the, the triple chin thing happening. All of that will be magnified in lifetime. I'm making fun of this, but it's true. Magnified in lifetime with this camera lens that doesn't lie. So what you want to make sure you do is, if you're using a laptop, you need to elevate this somehow. So find a telephone book. I know, Terry, telephone books were before your time. Google it. It's something made of paper with numbers on it. We used to have this, I digress here. But you want to raise the laptop up so the lens of the camera and you are at eye level. And this way we're mimicking having a conversation. The other thing that's really important, and I see this all the time, let's use my phone for example. I've got it at eye level, and as soon as I hit record, little magic fairies came and they made a reproduction of Michael here. It's like I'm talking to myself. And instead of looking at the lens, like I'm doing with you, we're having a dialogue, I'm looking at my reflection down here. I think I'm talking to Terry, but I'm really talking to myself. So what I've done now is I've broken the engagement. And if I'm trying to send a message via video, I want to make sure that the person on the other side feels, that's the word here, feels, there's that visceral connection that I'm actually engaged with them, that I'm speaking to them and not at them because I'm looking down at them. That's
such an important, and again, that's just another tip on how to do a really great video. And I'm hoping that you'll join us again with some of the nuances with video and how we can make them the tool that helps us connect no matter where we are and where we're going. And one gift that we've got from all of this, Michael, is that video has come to a time where it's not just an option, it is really a priority. Where can they get more information? I know that you have countless YouTubes. You are generous to a fault, and I mean to a fault, with giving away great opportunities for people to learn and engage video in their lives, or get you, just hire you to do a webinar or speech.
When you said fault, I'm thinking crack. I didn't think it was showing, but okay. So what you can do, it's michael@quickpagere.com. And I know this won't be censored. I don't care. I'm locked in. Find me at home. michael@quickpagere.com. And what we're also doing, Terry, is kind of an incentive for people to try out our platform. If they go to QuickPage, QuickPage.io/1 ONE, like spell out one ONE. So QuickPage.io/ONE, they can try QuickPage for 30 days for $1.
And again, even if you only used it to, once you get one, but I'm just going to mention, once I've used it, I found it to be invaluable because it's so personal. But practice is the key, kids. You've got to practice communicating with a lens. And people on television do this all the time because they aren't looking at an audience of millions of people. They're looking at a lens. And just get good at it. Send them to your family and your friends, people that you know aren't going to hurt you. And just practice with your video.
Get a little sticky note, so where the lens is, you're doing a selfie, get a sticky note with a little happy face. And just a little happy face, and you're looking at the little happy, they're a happy face, right? And it just makes it so much easier.
You also talk about how to hold the camera.
Yeah, so depending on which platform, so if it's YouTube or what we're doing with QuickPage, it's high definition video. You want to hold it horizontally. Facebook too, Instagram, Twitter, they prefer what they call square video. So they want you to hold it vertically as opposed to horizontally. Um, I find that if the message is good enough on Facebook, I do both. I kind of mix around with both. For now, I wouldn't worry about how to hold the phone versus hit the record button and start doing it. Just
Okay,
start doing it.
that's your typical way to do that. Michael, give us an email address to reach you.
Michael@quickpagere.com.
So there you go. From the wizard himself, how to use your cell phone, the camera on your cell phone to connect with other people. Michael, I hope you'll join us again sometime at Realty Times, Women in Business, Women in Real Estate, and Women in the Men's Room. What are we looking at?
When you say wizard, I'm trying to turn around here. I actually have Merlin. Merlin is my guardian angel. They're sitting on the corner of my desk. Merlin the wizard. How's that?
We love it. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. You're always so generous. And come up another time so we can show off what you do and who you do it for at Realty Times. Thanks so much for joining us.